How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. Hold on. Well, I know. Tipsy has a ball. She's very excited. Just hold on. I have to make a video. Hold on 1 second. Go lay down. How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. By chance, is your first time watching, my name is Aaron Young. I'm a charter captain and commercial fisherman / spear fisherman in Key West, Florida. I spend about 200 to 250 days a year on the water. This has been a highly requested video from a lot of you on the channel, so I wanted to get to it. I will say first off, some of these clips are new, some of them are old. I have no scientific evidence to support any of this. This is just through my findings over the years I've spent in the water. Spearfish at your own risk. Deal with sharks at your own risk. This is not advice. This is just how I handle things. A lot of you have asked, so I'm happy to share. I will say the reality of sharks is they aren't these man-eaters that everyone tries to make them out to be, but can they eat and kill you? Absolutely. That's just the reality of it. So I want to dive into this, no pun intended, go over some of these dives, narrate them, and then at the end I'll kind of close this out and share some more final thoughts. But other than that, enjoy. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to get to them and answer any questions you got. Other than that, let's rock and roll. Check it out. Look at him. Dude, I don't know. That one might keep. He looks like a tasty little morsel.
5 feet into the shark.
Is my camera on?
12 seconds in.
Hell yeah. Welcome back underwater, everybody. Some of these clips are from a recent trip we went out and had a little bit of fun. I want to start by saying sharks are predators just like we are. They're out there looking for a meal. They're seeking an opportunity. They have not become extremely intelligent. They have become aware of what boaters mean, what spearfishermen mean. They have learned to associate us with food, which is making them seem more aggressive. But in reality, sharks have been eating fish for thousands and thousands of years, as far as I know. With that being said, I'd say the most common sharks we deal with down here, probably bulls, lemons. There's an occasional hammerhead, silky, dusky, and then reef sharks. I think bulls have probably the worst reputation, and that's mainly because there's one, it's the most that we see are bulls, and two, the bulls do not hide their intentions. They let you know what's going on. I think I'm probably most concerned with lemons. I think lemons and reef sharks are kind of sneaky. They'll act like everything's okay, and at the drop of a hat they can turn on and just charge you for no reason. I've had them charge me without a fish, or without even spearfishing. But I feel bulls are pretty clear with their intentions. So this is literally first drop on a spot. No one had speared any fish. Nothing's been in the water, no blood, no chum. Not uncommon to see sharks. We see them all the time. Sometimes they don't bother you. Sometimes they are on top of you from the start. These sharks, they're around, they're looking at me. They know I've got a spear gun, and they know that probably means food. My method for retrieving fish has always been get it to me as quickly as possible when there's sharks around. This was a little bad timing and was a little close. This shark just off rip knew what was going on. It was game time. I think what saved this fish was that it actually got strung. It was on the line, and it gave it a little bit more maneuverability, and it actually missed that shark, and I was able to get it to my body. And you can see once I get the fish to my body, the shark leaves me alone. It knows that I'm a predator. It knows that, just like I'm looking for a meal. Obviously, it doesn't think that way, but it knows that I have it now. It's not getting that fish from me. I'm not telling you to do that. That is dangerous. You could see how close that was. It looks funky this morning. That was a little close for comfort, but it's the reality, and it does happen sometimes, especially if you go for that get the fish to your body method. Again, I'm going to be annoying with this. Spearfish at your own risk. Deal with sharks at your own risk. This is very dangerous. I'm not telling you what to do, just telling you how I handle this. So this is right after. There's blood in the water. These sharks have seen a fish. One of them chased it, and I just wanted to do a drop and kind of see how they reacted. And again, these things aren't man-eaters. They're not trying to eat me. They're just looking for a meal and an opportunity. Yeah, they're staying a little closer, but you can see they're mellow. They're cruising around, seeing what's going on. They're curious. They're checking me out. Yeah. I know a lot of times, especially Discovery Channel, they kind of make it out to be the second there's blood in the water, these things go, crazy and try to eat everything around. It's not really the truth. So big school of cobia comes in. Really big school, actually. Didn't really have the shot I wanted. I thought I had a good enough shot, and this is kind of a bad reaction. Normally these cobia are going to run straight down, which is a little better. When a fish struggles like that, that's what draws the attention. If you stone the fish, it's not common that a shark is actually going to get it. It's the fish struggling. So I see the sharks pursuing this fish. So actually what I do is I open my reel up and I let this fish run because I want it to get out and away. I want the sharks to hopefully think that it's not struggling. It's not an opportunity. So the cobia, I opened the reel. The cobia went straight down. I let it run as far as it could. It actually turned around and started coming back up at me. So I started to pull the line as fast as I could. Unfortunately, the cobia decided to go back down. A lot of times these cobia will run up when they see the sharks out of fear. And I'll be honest, it's maybe 2 or 3 fish a year I have eaten by sharks. Not very common. Unfortunately, these sharks were just fired up this day. You can see they get a hold of it. They make quick work of this fish, and really unfortunate. I hate when that happens. I really, really do, but just happy to be on the other end of the spear gun. I will say that. So this clip is, I think we'll show you the importance of having a buddy. Some nice APs come in. You can see a lot of them have these little streamers off the dorsal. That means they're juveniles. So I'm looking for one that doesn't have the streamers. Typically, if they have the streamers, they're going to be short. So this looks like a routine shot. The sharks had kind of mellowed out at this point. This looks pretty routine, not much to see from my end. Pulling the fish up as quickly as I can, get it to my body, and just secure it. And I feel a big whoosh of water. You can see me turn around at my fin, which I never saw anything. But luckily, my friend Alex happened to be next to me with his camera on. So in a second here, you'll see his angle and see what that actually was.
Well, I caught that shark come up and pop your fins.
Was that a shark? I didn't see him, I felt him.
Yeah, you were looking up. I go, bro.
So this is Alex's view. This fish is a little harder to get up to you and secure. Luckily it was a smaller AP, so I was able to get it up pretty quickly. And if you pay attention to the very top of the screen, you can see that bull comes in really quick, hot, ready to eat. Luckily for me, the fish was close enough up to me that it ran into my legs before it ran into the fish, and it turned just barely in time. That was kind of a lucky happening there. That very well could have ended badly. Just a reminder to stay humble, stay on your toes, and respect these things. Again, you can see all the streamers. This one doesn't have anything to do with sharks. This was just a pretty cool shot, so I wanted to throw it in there. Lots of juveniles. You can see there's one without streamers, so I know it's pretty good. And that was a nice, happy shot. And I stoned this one. You can see there's a shark right there, and I stoned that fish, and that shark did not react. Kind of looked at us and just was like, well, there's not much going on here. So up next, I've got some short clips. This is an example of a shark, pursuing a cobia. The cobia comes at me and gets pretty close to me, and the shark backs right off. Like I said, a lot of times if you can get that fish to you before the shark, a lot of times they're just going to leave you alone. I've never had a shark come and try and rip it off me personally. And that was a funny little clip of my friend Summer. That shark was just fired up for whatever reason. I had shot and actually missed a mangrove, and that shark was just jazzed up. So this is jumping back into the recent clips. Same spot where that mangrove almost got eaten this morning. For whatever reason, the sharks just mellowed out. We started popping mangroves. The cobias kind of disappeared. I'm doing my best to get stone shots if I can, because it just reduces the amount of action. I always say, if you've been on one of my charters, action brings action, whether it's good or bad. Get the fish right up to me as quickly as possible, and I got no issues. So this is a couple mangrove clips I'm going to throw in here, mainly because these mangroves were over 8 pounds, and it was a blast. The camera doesn't do justice to these. This is a case of puppy fever. Just so many, I don't even know which one to shoot. I have yet to break that 10-pound mark. I've got several in the 9s. So when it comes to sharks, it's almost an advantage when that fish gets strung. It's a risk because if a shark does get it, it's going to cut the line and you're going to lose your shaft, but it makes the fish a little more maneuverable. Harder to get your hands on, but if a shark does come after it, the fish normally can get away a little better when they're actually on the shaft, especially mangroves or smaller jacks or anything that's going to kind of go crazy. That shaft really slows them down and gives the sharks an opportunity. You'll see that in a later clip. And I've really grown a little more accustomed to this banana gun. The banana gun 2.0, if you watched one of the last episodes, we are going to make some very small fine-tuned adjustments, and we're going to probably do a small run of them. So I will let you guys know when those are out. Maybe we'll do a pre-order thing. I'm not sure how to do it. It's my first time. This is new territory for me. But I did get kind of an overwhelming response from y'all that said you would want one, so I think we are going to make a small batch of them, so I will let you know. And these clips, a couple of these clips coming up, I'm just kind of reiterating getting the fish to my body, shuts the shark off. Again, do that at your own risk. Line management is everything. Stay away from that line, because if you're wrapped up in that line and you can't get that fish to you in time and the shark does grab it, you're going down with the line. So you can see I'm quick here, kind of got my head on a swivel. The shark comes in, I get the fish to me, and the shark turns off. But again, be very careful with that. If that line gets around your hands, around your leg, around your weight belt, it can be a very bad situation. This is actually an older clip, but same message. And I've had some really, really close calls, but it's been a while, and most of the worst ones I've had happen haven't been on film. I've had sharks actually headbutt me, where I've physically had to push myself off of them. No real crazy ones in this video. So getting that fish up to me, this guy comes up hot. Once I get it to me, it leaves me alone. And I mentioned lemons earlier. I think lemons and reef sharks are my two biggest concerns being sneaky and kind of a little, you know, they're pests. A lot of times they won't leave you alone. The bull sharks, once you secure the fish, they'll leave you alone. This one was just bad timing. Murky water. I'm scanning around, just making sure there's no one in range, and this was awful timing. I looked to my left, and that limit is right there. And I said earlier, the fish being on the string gives the fish some mobility. That fish was on the shaft. That fish could not move quick enough to get out of that shark's way. And unfortunately, that shark got a hold of that fish. And I did not. This is an older clip as well. So there's some lemons there cruising. And there are times when, if sharks are acting so bad, they're charging you for no reason, you shouldn't be shooting fish. These sharks are acting mellow, so I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable enough that I'm going to take the shot. If you get in the water and the sharks are charging you right off rip, move to a different spot. There's no reason to do that. But you can see a lemon comes in here, kind of fired up, and he just follows me a little longer than the bulls normally would. But hope you guys learned something. Any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I will get to them. And thanks so much. So that is all I've got on this one. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Hopefully I covered quite a bit, and hopefully you all learned something. And again, this is not advice. I'm not telling you how to dive with sharks, how to handle sharks, how to spearfish. These are my opinions. Dive at your own risk, spearfish at your own risk, but do it safely, do it smart. Friendly reminder, every Monday, 6 p.m., new episodes. Sometimes I squeeze some in the middle of the week, so be sure to check here and there. Other than that, that is all I've got. Like if you have not already, it helps a ton. I know it's annoying. Subscribe if you're not. And I will see y'all on the next one. Later.